Hello, this is Vince, a meteorologist at the National Weather Service in Grand Forks, bringing you another edition of A Look Back. We are trying once a month to examine one historical weather event from eastern North Dakota or the northwest quarter of Minnesota. Last month's event was the record cold month of April 1893 and the corresponding spring flood. We've also featured the record fall, winter, spring, and flood of 1896-97. These links can be found on our office YouTube page. This month features the topic of prairie fires from May 1887. What were the main causes of prairie fires during the spring months? They are really no different than the causes of fires today. Dry grasses, gusty winds, low humidity, and carelessness. Carelessness remains a problem even today, and since the careless person can cause a huge amount of damage, fires incite strong feelings for the people affected. Some people call these careless people reprehensible. In May 1887, large prairie fires were reported in 4 places. At Point 1 on May 7th, Crookston escaped with minor problems from a prairie fire. A barn southeast of town burned down, and cinders were carried by the gusty winds toward town. At Moorhead on Point 2, also on May 7th, a grass fire started southeast of town and quickly spread due to the gusty winds. Due to the efforts of Moorhead and Fargo fire departments, only 1 barn burned down. At Point 3 on May 9th, a prairie fire 15 miles north of Grand Forks endangered several settlements. A large railroad warehouse also burned down. Finally, at Point 4 along the Cheyenne River in Eddy County, prairie fires destroyed woodland and barns. Prairie fires could be seen from a long distance at night. This is a quote from a local newspaper describing how occupants of a train watched prairie fires for miles upon miles. Can you imagine how it must have felt to have a prairie fire coming toward you? This is one man's description of what he experienced. He only had a small amount of time to save himself and his horses. To try to keep order on the northern plains, states did enact laws about burning. In North Dakota, people could be fined or imprisoned for starting prairie fires. Rewards were also given to find the people who started prairie fires and hold them accountable. Moving ahead over 100 years, April and May of this year have been active burn months for eastern North Dakota and the northwest quarter of Minnesota. This slide shows the number of red flag warnings issued by county. Red flag warnings represent very dangerous burn days. The most red flag warnings were issued for northeast North Dakota and from the Lake of the Woods to near Bemidji. A large wildfire known as the County Road 7 fire burned about 4,000 acres of land in western Roseau County in late April. The burn scar showed up on satellite imagery and is circled by a yellow line on this slide. At the National Weather Service in Grand Forks, we can monitor many different platforms that they didn't have back in 1887. Satellite imagery can show us hot spots, radar detects smoke plumes, and webcams can show dark smoke. To sum up, burning is still done today by many public and private entities. You can find out more information on fire weather on the Grand Forks National Weather Service webpage at the address shown here. That concludes this briefing. Thanks for listening.